Riders and Pillions, welcome back to another web episode. In a podcast where we dive deep into stories, cultures in the biking community. I'm your host, Kwena Wango. Today you have a very special guest, Pico Santana. Pico Santana is the president of Sapa Yopa. He's a biker, he's a father, he's a husband, he's a leadership in the country. Who is Pico Santana when the helmet is off?
No, thanks very much. I think firstly I would like to say good afternoon or good evening to all the viewers. Indeed, I've got a different type of life where I got my crazy life in biking, and I got my personal life after biking, and I got my life at work, especially when I'm out of biking. The responsibilities are very huge to a point that I need to be very focused and direct myself to the proper place where it should be.
Okay. So who is Pico Santana out of the biking community?
Definitely I'm a father. I'm a father of 6 kids.
Wow.
Yeah, I've got 1 son and I've got 5 daughters. I'm actually a family man, a man that put my family first, and definitely I'm a very proud father, because when I look at the progress of my kids in terms of the educational system, they're doing very well. I've got kids in the university, I've got kids at matric, I got my younger daughters still at school. I think that is it, and indeed I'm more focused on putting them as a priority, because they are the only gift I have, and it's my responsibility to be able to look after them. Secondly, it's my work, because my work is what pays my bills, and indeed I need to focus on my businesses, because they are the main thing that keeps me moving, besides the political part, because I'm actually within the political space. I'm the treasurer of Sanko within the Northwest, chairperson of the branch within the ANC in Ward 33. Now we even going for the regional conference very soon, where people want me to stand as a deputy chairperson of the region in the Northwest, So yeah, that is in short what it is. And indeed, I got my other responsibility that comes to give back to communities, in terms of I take education as priority, where I call one of the slogans to say, do not leave any child behind, where Pico Productions come in, where we do a lot of charity program, giving kids school uniform, school shoes, assisting people to pay for their education at school by assisting with some school fees in the university, also into other institutions where we think kids should not stay away from school. From my construction company, I think that is what funds my foundation. And then indeed, I think we're pulling and doing well, and we're making sure that everything goes smooth. That's me.
Yeah, no. It's so inspiring to be having the conversation and you accepting our invitation.
Yes.
You're a very busy man, and too busy and too executioner. So we really appreciate that. So let's get into Pico Santana in the biking side.
All right.
So you are the as I know, to someone that doesn't know you, who is Pico Santana in the biking community?
Look, I actually started biking a while back. In 2014, I joined Sapa Yopa. In fact, when I joined Sapa Yopa, it was when I went to work in Polokwane. So I went to Polokwane to work there. When I was there, I saw guys very crazy on bikes, because previously I was like a solo rider, riding from Dorenport to Mamelodi and back, not understanding a few dynamics and so forth. But when I went to Polokwane, I didn't realize that, no, this is really biking is serious. So what then I did is once decided that no, let me take my bike and just go for a ride, because I did not have friends in Polokwane by then. As I was busy riding towards Mankweng, it came a biker. He's now late, Jos Mamabulu. May his soul rest in peace.
May his soul rest in
He
peace.
was he's one of the founders of Sapa Yopa, and he was the vice president by the time of Sapa Yopa. He passed me while I was riding. I was riding alone, and then I stopped on the side of the road. But when he passed me, I was on the road, or on the side of the road. Then he made a U-turn and came back, and he asked me if I've got a problem or is everything fine. So I said, no, everything is fine. It's just I'm riding around not knowing where to go. Then he asked me for my name. I told him my name. And then he said, no, why don't you join us? Because we got a program at the university. Bikers will be there. Maybe you must come and join us and be with us. Then I followed him. We went to TEF University. University of the North. So while we were at the university, or when we arrived, there was a lot of bikers wearing Sapa Yopa gears. These guys busy revving and so forth, and it was an amazing time by that time, and it was a surprising thing for me, because I personally did not see so much bikes together and so forth. And then he asked me to park my bike. I parked my bike. He showed me where. He took me and he went to introduce me to the president of the club. At that time, the president was Saronong. That was about 2014 to 2015, almost the end of 2015. Almost the end of 2014 to 2015.
Okay.
So he went and introduced me to Saronong. And then he said to Sarah that, no, this is a friend, and so forth. Then Sarah asked me, where's my colors? And I said, no, I don't ride into a group or so. Then I said to him I would be interested to maybe join and be part of the group. How do you do that? Then he said to me, no, that we're going to talk after everything. From there, I was then introduced into the biking space. But when I was introduced into the biking space, I then was riding a lot with T-Bank 7, because when I got to TEF, T-Bank was one of the guys that looked and said no. In fact, he did like my bike. So he then came, and then we started talking. He asked me, who do you ride with? I said, no, I'm alone. And then he said, no, I'll come around sometime so that we can be riding together. So I rode with him, like he was my riding partner. And then from there, I had to do my kilos so that I can qualify to have my colors. And indeed, when I was doing my kilos, I was not only riding with T-Bang, I rode with AB, I rode with Caesar, I rode with MJ, I rode with Oscar, Oskido, in fact, I rode with him. We were actually riding a lot around and going up and down to be able to be useful to bikes and so forth. And then from there, things went well. We became one big family, and then I got my colors. And when I got my colors officially in 2015, is when I got my colors after the rally of 2014-2015. I got my colors. My colors was given to me at Industrial. By then, it was a place, Chisanyama side at the back. There was a Sapa Yopa meeting, and then is when I was given my colors. And in fact, I did not understand how the colors work, but Joes explained to me how it works, the importance of it, and he and Sarah gave me my colors, and then I became a member, full member, participating member, making sure that everything becomes okay. I was very energetic guy, doing what the club wants, showing interest into the club, making my inputs into the club. And I believe that the club saw that there's a need for me to be then escalated, not to just to be a normal member. And by then Sapa Yopa was expanding to provinces. Then as it was expanding to provinces, we had Mike Scrooge was then leading Mpumalanga. I was then sent to lead Northwest because I'm originally from Northwest. The headquarters was always in Polokwane. Then the Mahazat was then leading Gauteng. General Mahazat was leading Gauteng. So as it went, things was always going well, and then it came to a point that Sapa Yopa grew and became very big. As much as you all know that Sapa Yopa is one of the biggest, so it started growing, and then it came to a point where we said, no, let us merge the province of Northwest with Gauteng, merge it to become one, and then we're just gonna have Limpopo and Mpumalanga and Gauteng as a three, so that they can be proper control and be able to have a proper looks when it comes to the issue of Sapa Yopa.
Okay.
And besides that as well, for example, if we say we are going to attend an event, like we're going to a day joll or going to a rally, then we know that, okay, if the event is in Mpumalanga, we got at least 30 members or 20 members that are able to go out and support the event in Mpumalanga while the others are resting for the next event. If we got an event in the Northwest or Gauteng, we then know that we got manpower in Gauteng and Northwest that can carry that event to be able to go and represent the club. If we're in Mpumalanga, then we are now at the heart of the club. So there the forces are then more stronger when it comes to support other clubs. So indeed, things was doing well, things was fine. I contributed my part in terms of the participation, what I did to the club, where members who were with us before, they can say, people out there in the street who admire Sapa Yopa and saw the inputs and the involvement of myself into my club or to the club that I'm currently serving and so forth. And then from there, I went into the ESCO. Yes, I went into the ESCO. I served at the ESCO under the leadership of Jos Mamabolo. By then he was the president. He brought me into the ESCO of Sapa Yopa. So at the ESCO, I believe that our team definitely did very well, because we delivered by that time a very good rally. Everybody was happy at the ESCO. The president was happy. Organizer as me were happy. Those who were surrounding that, they were all happy. So we did very, very, very well. And indeed, it was something that was there. And then from there, it was the leadership of Pressless Boogie. After, because it was Pressaro. After Pressaro, it was Press Chose. After Chose is Pressless Boogie. Also, when he was the president, indeed, I was also playing a role in terms of assisting and be part of his leadership by making sure that things goes well. There were some ups and downs, but I was always there to advise him and tell him, no, let's work together, let's push this, let's make that, and so forth. He did very brilliant stuff for the club. He delivered and did everything well. It's part of the leadership that I also can say that I was part of. Then after him, it was Prestili. So when Prestili came, unfortunately, the problem was that she came and she did not definitely serve much because of COVID. So indeed, the COVID was one of the critical issues within the country. So that also stagnated her plans in terms of executing a few mandates of the organization. And indeed, as a female, as the first female who did or ran as a president, she would have done much more, but indeed there was the pandemic that came and tried to cripple the whole country. So when we talk about the country, we are also involving Sapa Yopa within that, and then the participation of what was happening. So she tried the best, and indeed we cannot ever come and say that she did not. She did the best as a female, and I could say that if there was no COVID, she would have done better. But I was not part of the executive. But indeed, I was now and then calling her, advising her in terms of how we can do things, how we see the club, where do we want to see the club. So we had a very good relationship as well. And then after her, I became the president.
Okay.
So in 2021, I became the president. And when I became the president, one of the mandates or one of the views that I used to preach before I became the president is to say, when I become a president, I would want to see in the Bikeville for us to host a free rally.
A free rally?
Yes, a free rally. Meaning when you go to rallies, because indeed, remember we are in a charity organization.
Yes.
So as a charity organization, we should not do an event with hope to gain profit, because we are not in business. Our business is to be able to look after the society. So our business is not to be able to make money. So indeed, people were wondering if will that ever happen. And then I said, no, it will happen. And indeed, in 2021, we then did a free rally. Sapa Yopa is the first club that definitely did a free rally. Everybody can tell you it was a very successful rally. Big artists were there. They had fun. Everybody was there. Everybody saw it. And by doing that, in 2022, I was no more the president. I came out in 2022. Then President Cappuccino became the president. But as he became the president, he definitely had to go back in terms of the normal routine of people paying at the rally. Not because he could have not carried a free rally, but because Bikeville at large, they were seeing things in a different way, to a point of saying that no, if Sapa Yopa would be hosting a free rally, it will definitely carry more pressure to other clubs to be able to deliver and do their work. So that is where the unbalanced issues was, and that is where many people did not understand. They did not know what was the dynamics in there, because what then we did is, after our free rally, we went out and we did the studies, and our studies that we did, we came to realize that no, a lot of that can affect a lot of events in biking. And then we needed to look at it and make sure that no, it does not create those type of affection. So that's why we had to go back to basic. And then we, even if you can check, to go to the Sapa Yopa rally is very cheap. It's only 200 rand. 200 rand gives you an entrance into the Sapa Yopa rally. So, but what Sapa Yopa produces and what Sapa Yopa gives, if you look out there, we could have been charging 500 rand or 600 rand, because that's one of the best. But we do not want to go, because we are not there for business. We are there for the charity part. And then indeed, President Cappuccino as well delivered a very good and successful rally that everybody saw it, everybody viewed it. And then after his leadership, the club then came together, and the club has thought of saying that no, let us vote a national president and let us vote a provincial president. Why? Because the magnitude of Sapa Yopa can give the space and allowing that people can be in a position of indeed having a president in Limpopo, president in Gauteng, and president at other places. So what then happened? We tried that. We did a pilot trying to see if things are going to work or not going to work. And by us doing that, what then we did, we looked and say, okay, we appointed the presidents, and then there was a national president. That the national president, we were calling it a national organizer.
Okay.
So definitely, Shangarai was voted as the president of Mpumalanga. EZK was voted the president of Limpopo. Ray was voted the president of Mopani. In the Northwest, I was the president in the Northwest, but indeed I became the national president as well. I became the national president, and Bra Ali was actually the president of Gauteng, but then he decided to step down. No, he was there, the president of Gauteng. He was looking into that. And then what then we did, we then had to bring everybody together and to be able to resuscitate and do things. Staff only, that is my vice president currently. He was the president of Mokopane.
Mokopane?
Yeah, Mokopane.
Okay.
So he was the president of Mokopane. So what then we did, we then had to give it a try and see how things going. And then I was actually the national organizer to oversee everything.
Okay.
So when we did that, indeed it was working, but it was something new in Bikeville, especially to our black Bikeville. It was something new. So many people were criticizing Sapa Yopa, Sapa Yopa cannot hold this, because they did not understand the concept of what Sapa Yopa was trying to implement. Where today, as we're sitting here, we can also see the same strategy that Sapa Yopa was implementing. Desperado is currently using the same system, but they're using it as a vice president, not as a provincial president.
Okay.
You know, so that's what is happening, the difference between the two. So also, indeed, the guys, when they were there, we gave their full support, to a point that in between, it was the time when I had to go to the conference for our regional conference, provincial conferences in the Northwest. And indeed, I would have not been there full time because of the politics. And it's the time when we're also going through the country's elections. And I played a very big role in terms of the elections campaign program within the province.
Okay.
So indeed, I went to the rally to attend the gala dinner, and then after the gala dinner, I had to come back because I had to focus on the preparation for the campaigns that we're busy with, where I was deployed. But the rally also went ahead. It was not a very 100% rally successful, but it was a successful rally. And I can tell you now, where Sapa Yopa is not doing well, we need to accept that they were not doing well. You know, it should not be all about Sapa Yopa is doing well and everything is good and to go. So it was one of the crises that was also there. So basically, those crises, what then happened? The club then came together. They decided that no, look, I think it's very early for us to have already provincial presidents, because we tried to do a test and then we have realized that it's not really working accordingly. So then we decided to go back and vote and only have one president as before. That will become the president of the whole Sapa Yopa in Africa. We're
The
not going to
national
be
president.
a national president. So then we went for the elections. That was now in 2023. We went for the elections. And when we went for that elections, no, 2024. Yeah, 2024. We went for that elections. The elections, definitely the members had to choose the venue. And we went to Mokopane. That's where I was then elected again as a president. But when I was elected as a president, indeed, I was standing, and then Luk was also standing. And then indeed, you know how it happens, that there are groups and so forth. And then we end up emerging, and we definitely am now the president. So when I came back with as a president, I came back with a view that that view should not be about Sapa Yopa, but it should be about Bikeville at large. Because remember, Sapa Yopa is the mother. It's too big. You know what I'm saying? So definitely there are certain things that can be done, or that Sapa Yopa can come and try to assist or implement, that will become a good example for other biking clubs, for them to participate and look at things and all of that, you know.
So true.
True. So that is actually one of the things that I think is very important, that we need to look at it sometime. You know, I think we need to look at it sometime. You know. Yeah.
Yes, you can continue.
Yeah. So indeed, we then went and we had a vote. Yes, but now. The views and the idea that we're putting together, we're looking on a broader space. When we're talking about broader spaces, like I'll give you the following. Number one, it's something that we need to engage, and that is something that Sapa Yopa thought about it. I know that the councils might maybe think of doing that engagements as well, but maybe they did not come out openly.
Okay.
Our first priority is to be able to look onto the more imposing in terms of safety on the road to all biking. When we're talking about imposing, we want it to become a must. It's not something
every
to every bike. It's not something that we need to negotiate or talk about it as like maybe we're pleading or pleasing, asking a favor to someone. No, remember, your life is very important. So if we do not impose safety, and then tomorrow when you're no more there, is your family who lose you, your loved ones. And when they lose you, they always say, bikers. And us as bikers, sometimes we got an attitude that no one will tell me it's my bike. And so it's not about your bike. If it's your bike, then take your bike, Go with your bike somewhere far away where it does not paint when it comes to issue of safety. Safety is priority.
So true.
And we cannot compromise on safety. One life is too many.
Yeah.
Yes, if a biker dies on a hospital or maybe something that we can see, it was like, then it's something because it touched us when we lose one biker, It becomes a very difficult thing for us.
It affects us, those who are remaining.
Yes, so that's why we're looking on saying that must become an enforce that we're going to have to fight as Sapa Yopa. We're going to push that all the clubs follow the instructions and rules and regulations, especially that is coming from the councils. Councils are there to regulate things, and we have to abide with it as clubs, because if councils will not do that, we will then be like a Mickey Mouse doing whatever we want. We are regulated by councils, and one of the council's responsibility is more on the safety, because they want everybody to reach to their loved ones alive.
Safely so.
Secondly, is the issue that we are having a problem in Sapa Yopa. Not only Sapa Yopa, but the problem is there in the Bikeville. But people are scared to talk in most cases. But we are going to talk about it, and we are going to relook into that, because we need even to have a one-on-one engagement with the councils. What is happening here? You know, is today Pico is the president of Sapa Yopa. Tomorrow Pico is not the president of Sapa Yopa. Because Pico like power, or because he tested power, what does he do? He leaves Sapa Yopa, he goes and opens his own club. And then us as bikers, instead of fixing the problem or defending such things not to happen, what do? We line up our group, we go and support the person who just started the club because he does not want to be led somewhere. Everybody must be led. And then definitely, if you look well, some of us, we cannot even spend the weekend at home. Not because we don't like our houses. It's because we have to support each and every one. Because if you don't support this one, tomorrow they say S for S. If you don't support that one, it's S for S. And then they will also have difficulties to come and support you. So now, who is the problem? That remains the question. Who is the problem? So we are the problem. We in leadership are the problem. Why? Because we are allowing things that should not happen to happen. And why we're doing that? Because some of these people who are opening clubs like ShopRite and so forth, they are our friends, they are our brothers, they are our close friends, and we are scared to tell them that we are doing wrong. Why we need to tell them we are doing wrong? So we think it's time that people need to apply their mind thoroughly, because leaving a club to start a club, it doesn't mean you sort the problem, because the problems will be there. Remember, problems come in different angles. And then when such type of problems are there, it's like a relationship. You have this girlfriend, you don't like whatever, you leave her. Instead of resolving the problem, you go and get another one. You arrive there, you find the same problem.
Then you run away
in a different way. But the end result is the same.
The output is the same.
Yes. So therefore, if you are able to compromise and resolve, then things will be fine. And I can tell you, there's a lot of clubs in the Bikeville. But these old clubs, some of them are there because they want to do business. When I'm talking about business, is that I have a club, or I just open a club. I want people to come to support me because I want to make money from the gate takes, and I want to make money from the alcohol. I want to make money from whatever, so that I can make money as profit. And that's not the aim. Our aim was never to make money. Our aim is to do charity.
So true.
You know what I'm saying? And if we focus and go back to basic, you will see that all clubs will be the same, but we're all going to be doing the same thing. And a lot of clubs will even close, because why? Some of them will then realize that no, this thing of wanting to use that to make money doesn't work. So those who are actually even opening or trying to open a club, I will advise them not to do that. Those who want to leave their club with intention to open a club, I will advise them not to do that. Why? Because if you feel there's a problem in your club and you cannot attend to the problem at your club, as a member, push back, take your time to relax, allow those who are actually in front to do whatever they have to do instead of you going and sabotage them. Because you talking bad about your club, you fighting about your club, you doing this. We outside will like it because we want to hear what is happening in your club. But the fact of the matter is you are embarrassing your club, you are sabotaging your own club, you are cutting support from your club. So I would even say that in Bikeville we need to stop that. The councils needs to look into that as a serious issue. The councils must not even accept people who are former presidents of their club because they don't want to be led to go and open a club and then they come and join the council and then we're going to run for numbers. No, we are not going to allow that.
Okay.
That cannot happen because Bikeville needs to be regulated and Bikeville needs to be done appropriately.
So true.
Yes.
So what's your view about the council and forums?
Look, number one, I don't even understand why there's a forum. That's the first thing I will tell you now.
Okay.
Because definitely it goes back to what I'm trying to say. A leader needs to be led.
So true.
And after, if you are a leader, that means you are leading a pack. Once your time comes and you do not get an opportunity to lead, accept to be led. So if you do not want to be led, then we're going to have controversials and parallel issues and so forth. A council in biking is a regulator of the whole bike
The whole biking community.
world or bike community. Now, when there's a forum, now it becomes another problem. Now the question is, what constitutes a forum? That becomes the question. What constitutes a forum? If people can tell us that no, a forum is constituted the same way a council is constituted, then we will say that that is another council. And then they're not calling it a biking council, but they're calling it a forum council. That is the same as that. Then we then need to understand, do we need a third council in the black biking? That will come now the next question. Whereby from me, I would say no, we don't need. Because remember, we are trying harder as councils, or the councils are trying harder to be able to make sure we are all fine. Solo rider, if you're a solo rider, we can't tell you what to do, but the guidelines would have been this way that will help you to be within line in terms of your safety and other things and so forth. In clubs, these are the guidelines in terms of you as a club. But now when it comes a forum, and then the forum comes and then they want to take it as a joyride, no rules, people do what they do, then we're going to have a problem. You understand what I'm saying? Then we're going to have a problem because people who want to go and disrespect rules and do others because they are forum. Now there's a difference also that we need to be put it into consideration. They are grouping. So there's a difference between the grouping, the brand grouping, there's a difference between the forum, there's a difference between the council. So the brand grouping is what actually I was part of one of those guys who started those, me.
Okay, what is the brand grouping?
For example, M109 is a brand grouping.
Okay.
RR is a brand grouping. Jigsaw is a brand grouping. We get groups like that.
Okay.
So, but you having those type of a group does not mean that those belong to a forum. Because remember, when we started that, the view was very simple and strictly simple. Number one, we wanted to bring everybody who rides the same bike in one point, and then we go out and we do a charity. The M109 formation, our first ride was to go for June 16, where our plan was every year, June 16, we're going to be able to have a grouping that we go and we do the charity for June 16 and we come back. That was it, strictly that. Yes, so when we form, as I was explaining, the M109, the boulevards,
Yes.
our main focus was charity, June 16, where we did the first one, Rustenburg. The second one, Free State. The third one, Transvaal. and so forth. We never had intentions of having constant programs and so forth. Why? Because people that were part and parcel of that group, they all belong to their own club. And one of our main goals was to say that you remain a member of your club. When we're riding, you represent your club, so that it must be like a unique thing that, like kind of a unity. It's a unity where all the clubs are there and so forth. And it was nice. Everybody was happy because it was joyful because everybody was there. But you can see there's a Sapa Yopa member, there's the Throttle member, there's a Sun Riders member, there's a Rebel Troop member, there's Manje member, there's whatever. All of them, they were there. So it looks beautiful because when you take a picture, you can translate that picture in terms of unity, teamwork, and things like that. Not only different clubs, like seeing that no, that club is that one, but we were all together. Then we had, for example, the RR South Africa. I was part of that in terms of the forming that. It was me, it was Scooby, it was Trevor, for Block, and all of that. There's other guys that were part of that. It was Justice, the late Justice of Sapa Yopa. There's a lot of other guys. But when we were riding there, each person was wearing his colors of his own club. Each one. There's no issues of being a member of my club or being, no. We were riding all wearing the same club and going for breakfast runs, trade days and things like that. That was the main plan. But you know, generation to generation, things change. So we cannot tell the current generation what to do or not to do. But that we call it a group pack branding. Okay. Then we got the council. In biking, the only guys who can regulate or give directive is councils. The councils were fine. We got ABC and we got Rambo. In fact, these councils has been there. The two councils, as we're speaking, they are in conversation or they are in views of trying to have things happening together as one. Where, as I'm talking to you now, there is a blanket run that normally happened or started to happen last year, where ABC and Rambo, they are doing it together in May. So that shows the unity within the councils in terms of them working together. It shows that there's no issues of that council go there, that council go there. If you go into the council program in terms of events, you will see that ABC has its own date, Rambo has his own date, but the dates, they are trying in all best not to clash. Why? So that the support this side must be the equal support to that side. Now when it comes now with the issue of the forum, so how is our forums going to align their event? That comes the first question. Secondly, do we really need a forum? And what does a forum stands for? Does the forum stands for to say those groupings all must be registered to them? Or what are they trying to say? That's what I'm saying. So I'm not going to be able to answer that because there was not a direct conversation as yet with the founders of the forum to be able to explain. But it was a question in Bikeville, for example, that when we saw that the forum was launched and then there are clubs that belongs to Rambo that they are supporting the forum. So that means these clubs need to agree and decide. Are they supporting the forum and become a member of the forum, or are they a Rambo member and remain at Rambo? You know,
you cannot be on both sides.
You can't be on both sides. But I can tell you this. As a secretary of ABC, me, I can put it on record here now, that if any club join the forum before 24 hours, as with the powers vested in me as a secretary, you will be out of the council. Okay. Strictly, if we just see this is like, because you cannot have, you can't belong into the forum and belong into the council.
There's a conflict of interest.
We don't want conflict of interest. You know, we don't want manga issues here. We want things, either if you belong here, you follow the rules here. If you're not happy with the rules here, you go in there, you can go. But we're not going to have double side.
Okay.
That's it, you know. So I would say that maybe the guys who are forming the forum, they need to go and apply their mind thoroughly. Let's give them space to go and consult. Let's give them space to them to explain, because remember, it would be premature for you to go and join the forum because you're having a problem at the council. It's going to be premature for you to go as a club to join a forum when a forum cannot regulate biking. That's what I'm saying. So we need to look at that. So if you're a club, please join the councils and then see which council do you prefer or do you want to prefer. There are constitutions that you must read. If it suits your club, join it. But if you do not want to join a council, you want to be out of the council, it's fine. But remember, do not go and try to look like now they're forming something and the council needs to dance to that. The council will never dance to that, especially ABC. Not when I'm the secretary. Nobody will dance to that. Yes.
Okay. So is Alpha, is it brain grouping or it's
No,
the forum thing?
Alpha is a brain grouping.
Oh, okay.
Alpha is a brain grouping. Alpha is a brain grouping. RR South Africa is a brain grouping. The Aliens is a brain grouping. Jigsaw is a brain grouping. M109 is a brain grouping, and so forth. In fact, look, Alpha, there is another group, Celebrity Bikers. There's also a group, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, the only thing is, in Bikeville, people need to be free. And people need to understand that. Remember, when you belong to a club, it's like a house. If you own a house, you won't be worried where you're going to sleep, because it's your house. You know that house number 5 is mine.
Yes.
You can go for many years, but house number 5 is mine. But if you sleep in the hotel, you must know that if you don't have money to pay, you cannot say that hotel is mine, I have a room there. You must just pass and look and go. That's the difference between what is happening here.
Okay.
Alpha is a grouping of guys that are friends who are riding RR. They like tracks and they like to be themselves and they want to be presentable and they want girls to like them and girls are liking them because they're riding a very powerful machine. You know what I'm saying? And there's nothing wrong with it.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
But it doesn't mean that they do not belong to clubs. Some of the guys riding with Alpha, they belong to clubs.
Yes.
But the funny thing is that some of the guys become too attached to the grouping, forgetting that they belong to a certain club. And that is where their names start to become a problem. Because remember, it doesn't stop me, Pico, to ride with Alpha.
Yes.
But it doesn't mean Alpha is a club or I must go and wear Alpha kits when I'm busy riding. No, I belong to Sapa Yopa. I must be honest. My house is Sapa Yopa. Alpha is like a hotel. I go there, I come out. But my house is at that point where I can tell at any given time. That's what I'm saying. So that is what people need to understand, the difference between the two. Those guys, some people see them as they're doing something wrong, but if you sit back and you analyze, there's nothing wrong. It's just a grouping, it's friends. You understand what I'm saying? So because it's people doing it, people will like it. But because it's Josh or Scooby doing it, it's a problem. No, it cannot be a problem. Give them space.
That's true.
You see, as long as they do not portray themselves as a club. If they do, then I will even say it now that if Alpha is calling themselves a club, those members of Sapa Yopa who are riding with Alpha, they need to pull out. Otherwise, we'll fire them. Yeah. You cannot belong to two clubs. A Sapa Yopa member, you stick at Sapa Yopa. You go to Alpha as a friends, whatever, you ride with your friends as much as anybody can ride with his own friends. Like Celebrity Bikers, we got a lot of Sapa Yopa members riding there. Kombot is there, TK is there, Simama is there, and all of that. But if now Sapa Yopa say, we got this, all of them will leave those grouping, they'll come to their club.
Okay.
They will never be where Sapa Yopa is standing here today, and they are standing there with their celebrity biking thing when they must represent the club. Once they do that, expelled.
Okay.
Yes. They belong to a club, they must be in the club. When it's club program, it's club program. After the club program, whatever they do is their own personal life.
Okay.
Where they go, what they do is up to them.
Okay.
Yes.
So leadership here, so since most of the people they get into biking as a hobby just to distress, and then some would say maybe the council have some strict rules which they can't adhere to. What's your point on that?
My brother, you can't live in a country that does not have rules.
That's true.
You can't live, or you cannot work in a company that does not have regulations and rules. You can't be running a business that does not have regulations and rules. You can't run a charity that does not have regulations and rules. That's what I'm saying. It cannot be a free for all. Yes, it cannot. You go to join biking. Once you join biking, even when you buy your bike, there are rules.
Yeah.
You know that. If you don't pay cash, you don't take the bike. If you buy it on credit, if you don't sign the approval loan and the contract according to the conditions, you don't take your bike. There are rules. It's normal.
Yeah, that's true.
People don't like it, but it's normal. That's
There's
something.
rules for everything.
So there's rules for everything. So meaning, for me, it's very simple. Once you join biking, and once you have to understand one thing that, based into the issue of the council. The council is there to regulate clubs. So we need to accept that clubs needs to be regulated by the council. The council is not there to regulate solo riders. But solo riders should not go and do things that will paint us as bikers.
Okay.
That is where now us as bikers need to understand what are the dynamics behind it and what is the issue behind it. Why should we allow, because you're a solo rider now, you come to events, you start kicking people's dreams.
Yeah.
You cannot allow that.
Okay, so basically as a solo rider, you need to adhere or have a basic knowledge of the council section or other bikers club rules.
Not really, because remember, once you buy a bike, you already automatically you're a biker, you're a solo rider, because you bought a bike. Once your bike comes out of the shop, you're a solo rider. If we see you there, you're a solo rider. If anything happens when you're coming out from the shop, they bump you, you're dead, we will identify you as a solo rider. That's what I'm saying. So a solo rider is someone who's riding alone, that does not belong to clubs, it does its own thing. But what I'm against about a solo rider is those ones who goes and put a patch and say no rules. Because that is wrong. It's not because we want to tell them what to do, but you portray a message out in the public that you are unruly, you don't care, you don't do this. Imagine now a car bump you, whatever, and then they will say, no, this guy I was supposed to go straight, he was standing here, whatever. So such messages are very critical. We need to be careful what do we carry with us and what do we really want to do. So, but solo rider, there's no pain about it. Anybody who buy a bike, automatically you become a solo rider until you join wherever you want to join. You're still a solo rider. But we need to avoid to have few type of patches and other things that portray us as otherwise, like no rules. No rules on what? No rules on speed, no rules on jolling, no rules on fighting, no rules on what? No rules on what?
It must be clear.
You must be clear. That's what I'm saying. So you can't just have you there, no rules, because I'm a solo rider. That's what I'm saying. Those are the kind of things that people need to understand and look at it in the bigger picture.
Okay. So what's your perspective about those solo riders who don't have any interest about joining any other biking club?
No, there's nothing wrong. It's normal.
Okay.
Yes, it's normal. There are guys that are always riding with their partners, like a boyfriend and a girlfriend or wife and a husband. They have a bike, but they use their bike for breakfast run to go and come back, whatever. But when we meet, we are all together, we have fun, whatever. They don't belong to any club, and then they come now and then to big bike events and so forth. It's normal. There's nothing wrong about it.
Okay.
Yes.
Oh, that's good. So then, I have so many questions starting from the beginning.
You can.
So you mentioned that you joined Sapa Yopa 2014 as a solo rider, where you met with the current former vice president by then.
Yes.
So, so what does it take actually to join Sapa Yopa?
Look, by then when I joined Sapa Yopa, it was a matter of you doing 1,000 kilos, and then the joining fee by then was I think it was about 800 rand or so. Yeah, it was 800 or 1,000, somewhere there, but I can't remember. It's been a while, but it went up now. You pay for your joining fee, and then definitely there are some rules that is definitely gonna be told to you what must do, what must not be done. By then we used to come and chill together with the guys, meaning there are certain times that we come, and there were certain times that we needed to go to the track. Then we come, all of us, I think it was once a month or once a month and a half or two, I can't remember, but somewhere there, we come as a group, we go to the track, we play the track just to check how good you are, monitoring safety issues and so forth. And then at the same time, what do? They then, like, we're going to have some braai, take some group pictures and so forth, you know. So that is actually one of the things that was happening there. And then there was, I think in October time, we're going for team building, where the whole club travels. That was one of the most interesting thing there as well, because why? Everybody comes together. We go to Mpumalanga. There was a very nice team building. When you come from the team building, you can see the club is like, it's like a restart, a kickstart, So there's a lot of things that was so interesting that definitely made me to be happy being in the club, And I can tell you that it's going to be difficult for me to leave Sapa Yopa and join another club. Because once you're at Sapa Yopa, you touch the ceiling. There's no other club.
Sapa Yopa is one of the biggest. It's one of the biggest biking club, not only in South Africa, but I can say in Africa.
Yes, we tried it out, and I can tell you now. Last year is rally. We invited all clubs of Africa to come to Polokwane, and then we wanted to show that besides Sapa Yopa, which is the biggest club in Africa, because remember, Sapa Yopa cannot contest because they are hosting. And I can tell you proudly that Riders took the biggest club in Africa trophy.
Oh.
Yeah, so indeed, I feel that Sapa Yopa cannot compete anymore in terms of that, because that is one of the projects that's going to happen, that every year we will try to bring Africa together and check who's the biggest club in Africa. Like, it's going to be a yearly title that we're going to be doing. So however who says what, Riders is the biggest club in Africa currently.
Okay.
Sapa Yopa cannot participate because they are the ones who are running the program.
But don't you think it's fair? Now it's being hosted in South Africa. Riders is a South African club, so maybe those other big clubs in Africa they couldn't come.
We gave them an opportunity. They were there.
Okay.
We had 10 countries there, so they had an opportunity to show them. Yeah? But indeed, we are trying to rotate the trophy. So we will look onto a plan of rotating the trophy, meaning maybe after the discussions with the club and see how it goes, maybe the next title will then be run maybe in Botswana, for example.
Okay.
So then if you want to take the biggest club from Riders, then that means you must go and defend it in Botswana.
Okay.
And then maybe the other year you're going to defend it in Namibia. Maybe the other year, like that, we will try to, it will be a discussion around it, because somewhere, somehow, we want everybody to feel it, that no, indeed, it's Oramala.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not only that, it's in the South African perspective.
Yes, that's what we're trying to do. Yes.
So, for the term that you've been serving in Sapa Yopa as the president, since you mentioned that you started being as Mahikeng leader, then you became a provincial president, then you came now to be the national president from the, you said it's organizational lead or national organizer, yeah. So what does it take actually to lead one of these iconic biking club?
Look, to lead Sapa Yopa is not an easy thing, man. It's not an easy thing, and that's where many bikers don't understand. And remember, there's a difference of you being a president and leading a club that has 15 people. And there's a difference of you being in a club, leading a club that has 30 people. And then there's a difference of you being in a club, leading a club that has 100 people. Okay, I'm just trying to give you a bit of the dynamics.
Yeah.
When you're running or leading a club that has 15 people, it's easy for you to take decisions very fast and issues like that because it's easy to control. The smaller the number, the easy to control. But when you have 20, it's also so in between. But when we get 50, then now the discipline start to become different, but you need to become more harsh. But once you have 100, you need to understand that the discipline needs to be enforced. Now there is an enforcement because you're no more dealing with a few minds. Now you're dealing with a lot of minds. Remember, there's a doctor, there's a lawyer, there's whatsoever, there's this whatever. And some of these guys, in most cases, they want to use their profession to be able to undermine the president. You know what I'm saying? So you need to stand firm as a president because their profession is out of biking. In biking, you are running it. In hospitals, when they're doctor, they run it. In court, they run it as a lawyers or judges or whatever. In wherever they run it. Outside, do not allow them to bring those attitudes within the biking space. Once they bring it into the biking space, then you're going to have a problem. That's what I'm saying. And for you to do that as a president, it doesn't mean you need to lead the club with a fist hand.
No.
You just need to be able to maintain discipline. And by maintaining discipline, you need to be able to engage with your members. You need to be able to make him understand that, okay, look at things in the bigger picture. If you were the president, what would you have done? If you're not the president, what are your views in terms of how you want the club to run? How do you run your household when you behave like this in the public? You know? So those are very dynamic issues. Not an easy thing to run Sapa Yopa. Sapa Yopa needs strong views, strong understanding, clear mind, because the debate is very different there. Yeah, you find it raw and you find it cooked. Yeah.
So, how important is the discipline and the respect within the biking community in large, actually, not specifically in Sapa, but in large?
Look, it's very, very important because you can't be anywhere without discipline. You can't. You know, if you are not disciplined, first thing you're going to do, you're going to create problem on the road because you are indisciplined.
That's true.
And everyone who's in discipline, you must know that you are gambling with your own life. That's what I'm saying. In life, you just live once. So you need you need to be very, very disciplined to be able to maintain issues appropriately. You know, order is what we all want. There's no program without order. If there's no order, there's nothing that can happen. So we need discipline, we need respect. What is very key is that, remember, me as a biker, it doesn't matter what position I hold, but I must respect any biker that I see to earn the same respect back. You know, if I don't do that, then it's difficult for him to respect me because I'm somebody who's, in Afrikaans they say, onbeskof.
What does that
mean? Onbeskof. Someone that is out of order.
Unruly.
Unruly. Chacharach. You see? Yeah.
Okay.
Or rather deal.
Okay. Or rather deal. What's way?
That's way. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So those issues like that, you see? So it needs to be done properly because discipline goes with the respect. Yes.
So how do you deal with the Jacharach people within the bikers within let's look at in ABC? You're the secretary ABC.
Oh, look, ABC they're very disciplined, they know. At ABC, they know, they're very disciplined because we got a chairman who his goal is to maintain discipline. They got a secretary that is his aim is to see respect and discipline. So there you can't go left and right. We work with the constitution. You go out of the constitution, we deal with you with the constitution. Yes. So that's why there's no problems in ABC about this club, that club. No. They have their own problem in their own club where ABC cannot interfere.
Okay.
In their own club, ABC cannot interfere. But we need to relook as the ABC in terms of how can we come to start to tap in and support and see when there are disorganization into clubs, what are the best solutions to be able to look at that. Because we are doing very well as ABC, but clubs might not be doing well.
Okay.
So we need to start to tap in there. I think is one of the things that we need to look at.
Okay. So now nailing down to the club that you are leading, how do you deal with the indiscipline and the less discipline?
My brother, at Sapa Yopa, There was few individuals, for example, that I can give you an example. Recently, last year, they were trying to create anarchies in the club. And we don't have time for anarchies because remember, you buy your own bike, you join the club voluntarily. And when you join the club voluntarily, you need to take note that you are not the only one in Sapa Yopa. There are other people also who join voluntarily like you. If you don't like something, you have a choice to consult it properly, or you have a choice to leave.
Okay.
Consult it or leave. You have a choice. But don't come and become anarchist in the name of Sapa Yopa. Because remember, firstly, you are not even a founder of Sapa Yopa. The person who founded Sapa Yopa, he did his effort to be able to put where it is today. You came and joined because you see it is there today. You didn't join to start it. Otherwise, you would have started something successful that we could have seen there. But it's not there. That's what I'm saying. So don't become anarchist and create problems. So if you become anarchist, we deal with you decisively. And I can even tell you, for example, some of the people think that no, because if Sapa Yopa dismiss you, you're going to go on social media and talk about the president of Sapa Yopa, talk about the Sapa Yopa. My brother, you can talk about us out there, but in the club, we dealt with you.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. And the more you talk about us, the good for me because you make me more famous.
Yeah, for free.
But I dealt with you here. That's it, I see.
Yeah.
So that's how it is. And then and there are cases or issues that people even go and insult people in the personal level.
Yeah.
You see, sometimes you insult people in the personal level because you think you know the person while you don't know the person. And then the person look at you and say, these people, is this what they think about me while he does not know me? So we end up becoming someone who's sitting at the back and watch you like like comedy, you know, when you watch comedy. We sit out and watch you playing your comedy and eating our popcorn and wait for you because we already dealt with you here. Until when you are tired.
You are there.
Yeah. When you are tired, you want to come back, you can't.
Yeah.
Then you're going to be going around telling people that you are a member. Then we're not going to entertain that. Why? Because, yes, remember, Sapa Yopa is too big that we have fake members.
Is it?
Yes, we've got fake members that have been expelled, but because they can see how nice is it in Sapa Yopa, they still go around and say, I'm a Sapa Yopa member. But
They still wear their waistcoat.
yeah, they do. Because remember, the waistcoat, you buy it, it belongs to you. You understand? So now, we are still dealing with the issue of those ones who are doing that, using the waistcoat when they are not our member because they are misrepresenting themselves.
Yes, yeah.
Those ones, one of them soon is going to go to jail just for the control of it, to send a clear message in the bike field that look, this is, you need to respect people's brand. You know what I'm saying? It's coming very soon. We're going to deal with it because we don't have to be looked and then find you in the street and say, hey, don't wear our colors. Now you want attention.
Yeah.
You want us to fight with you. You want attention. No. We're not going to give you that attention.
Yeah.
Our attention is simple. We deal with you internally.
Yeah.
Once we deal with you internally,
Yeah.
you can go tell anybody that, hey, I'm a member of Sapa Yopa.
But you know we are no longer the member.
Yeah, it's like, for example, anybody can say, I'm a Chiefs fan, but he doesn't have a membership.
Yeah, that's true.
It's not so?
Yeah, it's true.
Yes. The only way you will know that he's a Chiefs fan, he must go to the office and verify membership. It's not so? So, why are we worried about that? We know who's our members, we know who's in good standing, we know who renewed, and we know those ones that we fired, and we know those ones that resigned. So, we're out there, because you know, Sapa Yopa, unalimata, wabona.
Yeah.
Utswere-
Sort of fun.
yeah. Wabona. So when you see it coming, you say, hey, they must also see that I'm a Sapa Yopa. You go and take your jacket there, you put it. But you don't belong to us. We'll even tell you that, who are you?
Yeah.
When did you came back? Because the last time we saw you were gone. You understand? So we don't want actually sometimes to embarrass people.
Yeah.
We leave them, but internally we know what are we busy with.
Okay.
So, yeah, so those, I know that there are members there going around with our colors, and we know that they're fake. And very soon there will be their photos with a stamp saying fake. Social media.
Yeah.
Just for control.
Yeah,
just
just
for
to
them
be
see
clear that this is not their member. 'Cause
It's
then-
coming that point. If they continue wearing our colors, we're not going to talk too much. We're just going to put a stamp of fake and not even go to social media. Go to Google We put it there. When you Google, it will come out. That's how we're going to deal with it. Because sometimes when you try to deal in a civilized way, people think you don't know what you're doing. So you
take advantage.
So you do it in a civilized way, do it politely, until to the time when they start now feel the pressure coming back. That's how we're doing it. You know?
Okay. So how do you deal with the conflict and egos within the biking community, or say within the club?
Now look, in the bike community, we all know we got different characters. You know, it's not about the clubs.
Yeah.
It's everywhere.
That's true.
There's different characters. You know what I'm saying? There are people who come to biking with egos. They want to be shown that no, they got money. Others, they're driving a nice bike, an expensive bike, even though they bought it on credit and the bank is looking for it. You know? So they come there, they want to come and tell us how powerful they are. Some, they got their bonus, they wait and they come and then they want to splash, buy expensive champagnes and other things at biking and so forth. But for us, that is neither here or there, because it's your own money that you are spending.
Yeah.
You are punishing yourself for Monday. But us will have fun with you because we like things. We like things. We're gonna have fun with you. We're gonna pay and do this and that. Come Monday, come Tuesday, then you got the bank phone. We are not going to be there.
Yeah, you'll be alone.
You'll be alone. And then you got guys also who have the attitude of ownership. That is the problem where many people have, because, for example, we were just talking now about Sapa Yopa members, for example, the ones that are expelled. They feel that the Sapa Yopa owes them something, ownership. Sapa Yopa owes no one nothing. You know something? Characters of ownership should not exist in biking. Once you're no more willing to be part of that biking club, you're out. There's no space for you. Go and look,
you must
for
accept
it. There's no ownership there. The ownership of it is the society at large. Further than that, there's nothing of such. In Bikeville, there's no ownership in Bikeville. Today is you, tomorrow is that one, and so forth. Because remember, that thing is too big to a point that everybody can lead. Yes.
Okay. So how do you deal with members who they got expelled from their club and then coming to want to join the club that you lead?
No, remember, you see, at Bikeville, you must know that you must be led.
Yes.
As a leader, there are times that you're going to be leading, and there are times that are going to lead you. So if you accept to be led, then you are a good leader, and then you'll move forward. I mean, I can give you an example. I was a president of Sapa Yopa. I came out, I was being led by somebody, and then I came back again. So when I'm out, I'm going to accept to be led by somebody else. The only problem is that the leading skills is the problem. That's where many people don't understand that everybody got their own ways of leading, and they got different skills of leading. Yes.
Okay. So how do you balance actually the leadership in the biking community? Actually, as you mentioned that you are a leader actually in one of the political parties also. So how do you balance the two different dynamic of leadership?
You see, as a leader, you must never be emotional.
That's true.
Yeah. You see, in most cases, you might think that you are right, but you're not right, you're wrong. You want to use your own powers to be able to suppress what is right to be wrong. So all you need to understand is, as a leader, when you take decisions, you must never be emotional. You need to understand the implication and the repercussion of the decisions that you're going to be taking. But in most cases, to be honest, if you really want to lead, you need to lead understanding that the decisions you make, you stand to the decisions, wrong or right. That's leadership. In most 80% of the time, people might not agree with the decisions you take, but you must remember that in an organization, when you take decisions, you should put emotions aside by saying, what are you deciding on? Are you deciding on the people's choice, or are you deciding on something that is good for the organization? So in most cases, I decide on what is good for the organization. I don't decide what is good for the individual. Because once you do it for one individual, you must do for everybody. But you must always remember that decisions must be done into the best ability that at the end of the day is the club or the organization that must benefit out of your decisions. And it must be a right decision made by you that might not favor everybody, but is good for the club because it's worth it taking such decisions.
No, that's so profound. So what habits do you expect from the members or the riders in your club?
What way?
What habits do you expect?
Number one is riding. Be on top of your machines. That's the key thing. If you're on top of your machines the whole time, then you will even feel that no, I belong somewhere. Because why? You are on your machine. Secondly, respect each other. Regardless if you're old, you are young, you are beautiful, you are handsome, you are half this way, half that way. But the fact of the matter is, if you respect each other as members, I can tell you, that will be the best club. A club without discipline and respect is not a club. It's a circus. And we are not in a circus. We are here to be in a club, and we need to run and lead as a club. Okay. So the most thing, discipline. Everything you do, discipline. And discipline is very simple. You can tell from far. This guy doesn't like to wash his bike. This guy likes to be very arrogant. You can easily tell, and you can tell. And through that, you are able to pick up that. Because if you look after your things properly, to a point that you don't want people to hate your things, then definitely even in the club, you'll be able to look after the club to a way that you don't expect people from outside to attack your club. That's how it goes.
Okay. So what legacy do you want to leave in Sapa?
Look, I think in terms of the legacy, one of the main things what I want to see happening that is currently happening is number one, unity within members. Unity in members is what I want to see. Secondly, Sapa Yopa members must be more visible on bikes than just coming to events and like without bikes. We need to bring back the culture, we need to bring back the tradition, we need to bring back the spirit of riding. So I want to live tomorrow to a point that whoever takes over from me will say, no, these guys that I'm having now, they like riding. We want to see members riding a lot. Participation of members are very important. And I also want to see the unity within biking at large. Meaning S4S and all of us as bikers. I even wish one day to have just one event that is going to be ABC and Rambo clubs together, and they do one event. That is one of the wish, and I can tell you, I'm pushing for that, and that's going to happen.
Okay.
Yeah, we want to have one event that will symbolize unity within biking. Like Ubuntu is doing very well.
Okay.
Ubuntu is doing very well. How they organized it and so forth. Now is the old machine that is running without the ones who the founders being there, but it's running everywhere. So we can also do that. And I can tell you, the plan and the thinking that I'm having that we're going to have one rally, okay, is ABC and Rambo, should not be on the issue of expectation that they were going to do it to make money, but should be in the expectation to say we are uniting Bikeville, and we want to do something that will become a symbol and symbolize that we can have this once a year as the two councils. Secondly, I also want to see an event that's going to be hosted that will bring all presidents of Africa together. All presidents of Africa together. Why? Because they are our brothers, those ones in Africa. They are learning a lot from South Africa bikes. They are learning a lot how we do our day jolts, how we do our rally, how we do our breakfast run and so forth. And it's us who must be able to run the lead, to be able to teach them so that they can do it right in their own country and make sure that the standards are the same. So I want to see that happen. So I also want to make sure that when I leave one day, I must be back and say, I brought Africa together. will have to happen. That will have to happen. That should be something that will become one of the main things that I'm gonna fight for, to see everybody together. Yes.
Oh no, that's so profound. That's so profound.
Yes.
Please tell me about your trip in Angola.
Hey man, the trip in Angola was so nice, man, you know. And I also want to say to all the bikers out there who did not go to Angola, you missed out. You missed out because remember that you expect others to come to your event. And if you do not start an initiative of them of going to their event, sometimes it makes it difficult. Yes, indeed, it's a long trip. Yes, indeed, it's something that you need to plan properly and thoroughly. But look, in any type of event where you go, you need to plan thoroughly. So we need to be able to make time and go and support events in Africa. Angola, there was a group from Zambia that came. There was a group from South Africa. Us went there. There were the local bikers there from other clubs. Yes, indeed, the guys, they were celebrating their 12 years anniversary for the event. The good thing is they don't call it a rally, they call it a party.
Okay.
Yeah, so these are the two different things if you look at it. But comparing to our events in South Africa, I can say the standards of it is that the guys are still growing, and indeed they need a lot of support, and they are learning, and they did very, very extremely well this time. It was so nice to a point that it's even encouraging a lot of guys to go again. Yeah, we went for a mass ride, a very nice mass ride next to the beach. It's a nice view that we had there. Indeed, there was no charity aspects there because the guys are still in the process of growing. They're still in the process of understanding how to do it. But we saw a few issues there that maybe we need to assist as it goes. It's like, for example, the way we make our mass ride, we got two lines when we do our mass rides. They are used on one line to do the mass ride, but we try to speak to them. They're trying to adapt to the two lines because we have to explain about it and so forth. And then
They're not doing staggered formation.
No. Now they're starting because we try to explain to them the reasons why, the risks and so forth, because they normally do a one line, but we tried, and the traffic is also too heavy. You know, the traffic is too heavy, so that's why they go on a one line to be able to pass through the traffic.
Okay.
Yeah. So yes, we were received by a few clubs in Angola. The event was for a club called Nomada. So Nomada is the second biggest club in Angola.
Okay.
Yeah, so they were hosting their anniversary, and they do it every year. And yeah, indeed, there was a government officials that came through. They received us with a very warm welcome into the country. They have one of their general called Nuno Araújo. He rode about 900 kilos to go and meet the bikers, and then to come to Luanda, just to be able to make sure that he follows everybody and so forth. So we are very grateful for that support that we got there. Their president as well, Ludi, a very kind president. He was making sure that we were fine. They were making sure that we were well received in that country, let's put it like that. And I want to say to other clubs and bikers and even the council, please, let's try to go there, because the experience should not be about me and the few that went there, but let it be for the whole bike thing, because it's a nice experience. It's a nice experience, and you learn to understand the difference between how we do our event and how they do their event. For example, their event, when you do it, you pay an entrance fee. But the entrance fee that you pay, you get free drink inside.
Okay.
Yes. They get sponsors like from SAP and so forth. So the sponsor gives them free drinks, and they give the whole rally free drinks.
Oh, that's nice.
And then what do? They also give you free food. But here in South Africa, we charge for stalls. People must come and sell. But then they don't charge for stalls. They give you free food. That's how they do their event. Okay. But it's very nice. It's very, like, we need to learn from each other. Let's put it like this. We need to learn from each other. We need to check the views and see how to do it. But There's another one coming up in on the 7th of August, again in Luanda for Amigos da Picada, the guys who were at Sapa Yopa last year.
Okay.
So they are hosting their anniversary, or those ones they host the rally.
Okay.
Yeah, those ones are very big. They are very extremely big. So they are hosting a rally. It's the first week of August. But I will also encourage bikers from South Africa to please, let's try to come together and create a good team. Let's go there. Let's go there. Let's analyze. Let's see, because indeed Africa is opening up, and by Africa opening up, those are the guys who are gonna come and support our rallies big time. And let it not be that they just come to Sapa Yopa. Let it be that they come to any other biking event. They do a lot of tour around Africa. Let it happen that when they're busy with their tour and they arrive in South Africa, there's a biking event, let's take them there. Let us not make it a closed thing for one or two clubs, but let us get the space to do that. But also what I would want to say is that I'm also going to try to engage with Blaza, with Lopez, and see the possibility that we must create a training manual, guide, and all of that we can use it as for all African countries, where we then have to have a team that must go out there and train these guys in terms of safety, the reason why must he wear the helmet, why shouldn't he ride without an helmet, give them the same understanding that of what we do here, because it's very key. Look, there's a brilliant place to host event there, very nice. The events are lovely, but there's a lot of, they're still behind with a few things that we can definitely come together and assist.
Okay.
I think that's one of the things. But the trip was so nice. It's a lovely trip. I came, other guys are still coming, they're still on the way, they will arrive here. I think the latest will be in Gauteng. It will be after 6 days.
They're riding?
Yeah, there will be riding and towing.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So, while you spoke about gears and the importance of gear, so what is that non-negotiable before any ride on a gear?
Look, a non-negotiable thing for every biker, number one is safety. Number two is the gear. Because remember, if you are not properly geared, the risks are very high. Because I can say now that no, I'm going to take my bike, I'm going to just go and buy bread and come with the shorts. But when I go, I might not come back. When I go, I might come back disabled. When I go, there's a lot of implication in between. And then the reasons why they made those safety gears is for a reason. Yes, we know a lot of people say, no, but this one failed, but he was wearing a BMW full suit. This one, yes, it's normal. Some of the guys can survive, some of the guys will have some injuries and so forth. But let it not become a 0% when we can save 90%.
Okay.
Yes.
So when it comes to gear, what is that one thing that is non-negotiable, like gloves?
Yes. What is not non-negotiable is number one is the helmet.
Okay.
Your helmet is very, very, very important. That is the main thing. You need to have the right helmet. You need to be able to make sure that the helmet fits your head properly. You need to make sure that you are actually using the correct purpose. Secondly is your gloves.
Okay.
All right. Your gloves are very, very, very important, because definitely, remember, is to protect your fingers and all of that in case if anything happen. It's one of the main thing that you should also look at it. The third one is your boots, your riding shoes. Your riding shoes is very, very key, because every riding boots, it has ankle protectors on the side for the joints and all of that, for in case if anything happen. And then there's iron steel for the toes as well. So it's very, very, very important that you must always have that on, especially if you're having a super bike and all of that. Then you got your suit. Okay, you got your suit. So your suit is also very important because of your spine protector, your knees, your elbows and so forth, protectors and so forth, So those are very key things that is very, very, very important to look at. So that is if you wear a full suit, but if you're wearing a normal, you must always make sure that your jacket has your protectors for the joints, and then your spine protector, and then your knees, whatever the jeans that you are wearing, it must always have that, because if you fall and it open, then you must know you're not gonna have another knee.
There's no space.
So there's no space for that. So you need to be able to be fully protected by that. But number one, helmet is not negotiable.
That's the very important one. Secondly, gloves.
Yes. If you start your bike, you must know. No helmet, no bike. Yeah.
Must not move without a helmet on.
You must not even try. Because that is very critical. Yes.
Thank you, leadership. We have it's an exceptional session actually. I learned a lot of things from you, personally and also in the biking. As I'm a rider, also I've learned a lot from you. I've really grown. I do believe that the viewers will really appreciate this session and grow.
Thank you.
So before we close, I need us to play some quick game here. Just as an icebreaker. Okay. So it's a throttle or brake game.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's go.
So I'm gonna ask you a question.
Okay.
Then you must quickly say throttle or brake. If you agree, it's throttle. If you don't agree, brake.
Okay.
Is it clear?
Let's go.
Okay. Leading by example.
Throttle.
You must be quick.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you must not think it too much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Riding without full gear.
Brake.
Club rules.
Throttle.
Brotherhood over ego.
Brake.
Peg riding discipline.
Throttle.
Stunts.
Throttle.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you. So we've got the tradition in Riders Pillions podcast. So before we close, we ask you a question. We ask you to answer the question of the previous guest. The previous guest left the question for you. They didn't know that it's you.
No,
so we need to check the question.
Let's see what are the questions.
Yeah, and then after you answering the question,
yes.
You need to also respond and then ask the next guest question. Yeah. The question from the previous guest, who is Sugar Lips,
Yes.
He left a question for you that if there is someone who lost his life that you know, what is it that you have done differently to prevent the death of that person?
Okay, I think maybe I will take on one of the rides where we're coming from Soweto. We're riding into a pack. We're coming from Soweto as Sapa Yopa members, and we're going home. It was like a Sunday, and then that Sunday there was a bike accident where one of our members had an accident, and then the pillion passed on. So now, when I look into that by going back, firstly I would have said that if we have to turn that thing around, we would have said that number one, we would have create a strategical vision view in terms of the guy that jumped from the bridge to the bikers, because it was someone who wanted to commit suicide, and he jumped through to the biker, where on the formation the first biker managed to swift, but the second one did not make it, and then he hit the biker, and then that's where the accident fell. But if it's for me to look at it, I would say that we could have in all means tried to ride, but have a upper look, and also be more conscious and careful, especially from the bridges, wherever the bridges are, because we do not see what comes up from the bridge. So we would have maybe looked at it as a different ways to avoid such things. But unfortunately, after the guy jumped, the second person was not expecting, because he's looking down following the person in front, but he did not realize that it was coming from the top. So that is actually one of the things that maybe our visibility could have been much broader, and then also we should have a better view, especially avoid riding as well when it's starting to get dark. because indeed when it's getting dark, it's very difficult to have views and see what is there. So may the sister who passed on the day soul rest in peace. But if we could have maybe do our best or bring it back, we could have be more vigilant in terms of that, because it was unexpected that somebody jumped from the tree.
May her soul rest in peace.
Yes.
So what's the question for the next guest? It might be a rider, it might be a pillion.
I think my question for the next guest is that what must be done, or can he or she help us to be able to bring the two councils together to host a very magnitude rally this year?
Okay.
Can the person do that? And not only that, the same person should assist us to go and look for sponsorship for us to be able to host it.
Okay.
Yes.
That's a very key thing.
Yeah. That's all I want.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Pico, for accepting the invitation and coming through, welcoming us into your space to be able to shoot this episode. We really appreciate that at Riders and Pillions, and to the bike lovers, the riders and the pillion, and the upcoming riders, of which we are aware that such conversations are very key and very important for the upcoming riders. So to avoid things that you find that there are some other people who just got into Bikingville without any knowledge or having no source of knowledge where they could get, and you allowing us to come and sit with you and having the conversation, it really means a lot in building up the good and the positive biking community. You as the leader, as an ABC and the Sapa Yopa, and it really means a lot actually in a very wide way. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much. Thanks for the time. See you, and I hope you guys continue doing this and motivate a lot of bikers, especially to the Bikeville. Let's have all the bikers to come through and view your program and share your program with others, so that it can become a viral program that everybody can go out there, learn from it, and make it happen.
Yeah, so also need a sponsorship. Please sponsor us.
No, we'll come to that.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Alala. Sure.